What is up, guys? I'm loving this DIY stuff, so stay tuned to what we have next. Alright guys, so today we're actually going to be building a DIY filtered breeder box. Now this is not my design, this is not my idea, this actually came from Fishman. Well, he actually made me one right there, a while back, and I've been loving it. I've been using it ever since, but I wanted to go ahead and try my luck at making my own. Now, it is not out of acrylic. I do not work with acrylic. Eric's the master at that. So check out Fishman, all your DIY needs. He's the guy to talk to. I'm actually going to be using more simpler materials, cheaper materials. So stay tuned. Let's see how we do it. Alright guys, so this is everything you're going to need. You simply need a drill, a 1/4-inch bit, a 7/8 bit. This is actually a piece of 1/2-inch inner diameter PVC conduit made for electrical work. You can find this at a hardware store at the electrical section. Very, very cheap. I think I paid for a 10-foot section maybe $3. So a lot of DIYs you can do with this. A piece of airline, a air stone, a couple pieces of sponge, and then I have this. It's actually a multi-purpose storage bin. I had this at a dollar store. As you can see, I paid $3 for this, and it's quite large. It'll hold. It's a lot of space for what I'm going to need it for. So let's get right on into it. Now originally I was going to put this, but the holes are quite large, and I also have some screen door I was going to put, but those are actually a little large also. I plan on using this for white cloud mountain minnows, and if anybody actually seen a fry of those or bred those, realize they're actually kind of microscopic. So I decided to go ahead actually with sponge, just shove that in there, and there's no way they're getting out of that. That's the reason why I'm going to be using the sponge today for very, very tiny fry, so they cannot escape. This, I might still do another one with this for larger fish, but for now, for mountain minnows, I'm going to actually use the sponge. So let's get on to the building. Alright, so what we're going to start by is actually drilling some holes in this 1/2-inch conduit. So let's just go ahead, drill a bunch of holes. Very easy stuff to work with. Alright, that should be enough holes. I actually have to go ahead and put one on the top for the airline to go in. That's actually what's going to hold the airline securely in place. So that should be good. Just take your sandpaper. Make sure you have all the rough edges off. That should be fine. So that is essentially going to be it for the intake tube. That's why I drilled the hole here on the top. This can go down and stay securely in place. And go ahead and attach your airline air stone on this end. This is actually gonna sit right on the bottom here. It's gonna suck air up. It's It's going to suck water in through these holes. I actually forgot to mention, because it rolled off the table, you're going to need an intake sponge. It's going to cover those holes up so fish cannot get in. It's going to suck the water through here, out through the top. So that is essentially the intake. Let's move that aside. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead, drill the hole in this where the intake's going to be. I highly suggest you get a piece of wood so it does not crack this. And also, I highly suggest you actually drill a pilot hole. Unless you have a different type of bit than I do. This is actually a speed bore bit where once it grabs and it'll probably destroy this. So I'm actually going to go ahead, drill a little pilot hole with the hopes I will not crack this. There we go. That's good. No cracking. Pretty impressed with that. Now for the big boy. This is what scares me the most, is if this cracks. I mean, I can always fix it with silicone, but I prefer not to. Nice and easy, I don't want to crack it. There we go. Perfect. So, that is it. It's a perfectly drilled hole. Now you see why we use the wood. So it doesn't put a lot of strain on the plastic, and why we drill the pilot hole. So it makes everything so much easier. Nice and clean. Go ahead and sand it off a bit. That is essentially it. Obviously, I'm going to go ahead and wash this off before I actually put it in the tank. Well, let's go ahead and test it out. So this is essentially it. Now, I actually have to go ahead and drill 2 holes in here. We're actually going to be suction cups, so I can stick it on the inside of the glass to hold it in place. So, let's go ahead, drill some 1/4-inch holes. So, here we go. Wish me luck. That's one. Perfectly drilled holes. Plastic is actually a little soft. I'm not sure if I would crack it if I do it freehand, but I don't want to take a chance. Drill the second one here. We're just going to eyeball that. That looks pretty close. Yeah, go down a little. That is it. That's going to be it for the tools and the drill, everything else. So now let's grab 2 suction cups. Okay, so we have the suction cups. I'm just going to go simply pop that on. There we go. That's 1 and 2. There we have it. Now it's complete. Simply go ahead, add the intake. we add the sponge just so the fry cannot escape, and that is essentially it. Now I will have to silicone this here, like I said, but that is basically it. So let's go try it out. All right, so we're going to be testing this out on the 55 gallon. So let's go ahead. Now as you can see, I still do not silicone this, simply because I wanted to test it out. And I'm going to have to get up on the stool. Simply stick it on the glass at the elevation you want. I'm going to put it right to the top. That is essentially it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to be siliconing that. But that is basically it. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. So for a closer look, as you can see, there's quite a bit of water flow that's coming out of there. As you can see, all those bubbles means water is getting filtered up. So if I push this down, you can see water's coming up. Once I get it silicone in place, this won't be bobbing around. But I'm pretty happy with it. It's high enough so no fish can jump in, no fish can jump out. The sponge is actually going to hold all the fish in. They will not be able to escape. So that is my DIY filtered breeder box. Thanks Eric for the inspiration for the design. I actually go ahead and build my own. As always, please rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. More DIYs coming out. Stay tuned.